This is the M-V-Yoh, a Tier 9 American tech tree heavy tank, and after update 9.1, I would be willing to say this is quite possibly the strongest Tier 9 in the game. What makes this vehicle so strong is the gun. It's a 3-shot autoloader. It's able to deal 900 damage in a matter of 5.2 seconds after you fire the first shell. Now, it does carry another top gun, the 120mm, but at this point, I wouldn't suggest to run it. It's got 440 less DPM, worse dispersion, worse pen. It's a lot worse in many ways, where you can just have a lot more enjoyable of an experience with the 3-shell, especially after the biggest change was given in update 9.1, shell reload boost. Now, this vehicle gained an extra 200 DPM when you apply shell reload boost, and you're able to get your shells out in around 4 seconds. That is incredibly deadly. The M-V-Yoh is a really unique tank as well because it does carry the reserve track mechanic, meaning that if you get tracked, you can still reverse at 5 kilometers per hour. Now, that's not great, but it's better than nothing. I mean, there's no other tanks in the game apart from the other Yohs that can reverse while being tracked, making this an incredibly unique and powerful vehicle, because even when you are tracked, you still have the ability to get out of the position you've put yourself initially in. This tank has very good gun depression, I think at 8 degrees, unlike the 10 the Tier 10 has, but 8 is still plenty to work most ridge lines, and it's actually got quite troll armor. The turret is quite strong apart from the hatch on the roof, and when it comes to the hull as well, it's got such a small lower plate that you can actually get quite substantial amount of bounces. So this is a very solid matchup for us here. Not the best, I mean, we are up against two very deadly tank destroyers, but I think that this is a pretty good matchup. The only medium they have is a Leopard PTA. We're going to have to see what the enemy team does in this game, if they end up pushing towards A and B, or they go over towards this side. But judging that the M-V-Yoh is already spotted over towards the other side of the map, then I think we already know our answer. So the M-V-Yoh is just getting absolutely badonkered. I could poke him, but I'm going to capture this base first things first. I'm also a little worried about being spotted by like the TDs that could be sitting in the back. You're never too sure where the TDs are on Oasis Palms, which is why you want to be careful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get hull down and overlook base B. This is a really good position because if my team does decide the camp and any of my TDs are behind me, I can very easily just give them spots and hold hull down. So if enemies try to push me, I can just give our team extra cover. So here we go. Let's push on up. We do have the whole enemy team basically there, and there we go. WZ fires. This is where we can put on our shell reload boost. There's 1 shell into the WZ, 2 shells into the WZ, and 3. There you go. 865 hit points into his player, and I mean, he's dead. So it is pretty incredible what this tank can do. And sure, we bled a bit. I mean, we got hit for 475. I think that was the Yoh that hit me, but it doesn't really matter too much at this point. Their team is already bleeding very fast. So there's 1 shell into the waffle. Let's go for a shell into the leopard, and the leopard is now a goner. And yeah, now we just start reloading our clip again. It's that easy. 15 more seconds, we're going to have another clip ready. So yeah, we're just going to chill here, stay hull down. We do have a T-34 Falcon, it looks like, pushing off to the side. We got a Chieftain T-95 in mid, but nothing can pen me while I'm hull down, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's see what I want to do. I'm going to push up over towards this side and maybe get a clip into this this T-34. I think that could be some pretty easy damage. So there's 1 shell, there's 2 shells, and let's get that 3rd shell out as well. A badonk. Thank you very much, good sir. And we got a nice bounce as well. Perfect. Again, just showcasing why this tank is so good. So now we got the VK-45 all the way in the back, and apart from that, we got a Chieftain T-95. I mean, their whole team is basically dead at this point, so I'm just going to try and get a little bit of damage out on this VK-45. Here we go. Let's just drive 1 shell into his upper plate, and let's go for 2 shells, and let's go for that 3rd shell. Thank you very much for your hit points. Come again. But I mean, that was a very easy game, over 3,000 damage dealt. And this is why the M-V-Yoh is just such a strong vehicle. I personally believe that the M-V-Yoh is stronger than the Object 752. The only reason I think the 752 has better stats is down to the fact that it's a premium. So you don't have to grind it stock, you don't have to deal with crews or any of that stuff. You're just buying a tank fully upgraded. That's one thing people don't fully always get about premiums, is that you do have to grind them. Or not premiums, but tech trees, is that you obviously have to grind them stock, where you don't have to do that for a vehicle like the 752. So that's why I think that, personally, I think that you can actually do better if you understand a playstyle like the Yoh over the 752. Here we are in our second battle, and this is a much better example to showcase a Tier 10 match. We only have 2 Tier 9s on our team, and we only have 2 on the enemy team. Apart from that, they got a whole lineup of death. Chieftain Mark 6, 60 TP. They even got a decent Sheridan player. So, yeah, I gotta be a little careful, and I hope that this guy doesn't go towards A. Please, please. Oh, no. Well, I'm gonna still do my best. Yes, look at that. He knows where to go. Hey, yo, he's got that undeniable advantage camo. He knows what he's doing. Whenever I see that camo, I just get a slight scare in my heart. I'm like, no, no. But we got the Sheridan, and did get a nice shell into our teammate, but our Sheridan got a nice shot back. Okay, so they have 3 mediums, we have 3 mediums. The real question is down to how our mediums react, because I'm obviously not over there. They also got a lot of heavies, like the Mark 6 and the 60. And for a good example, here's the Mark 6. I'm going to put on my shell reload boost. There's 1 shell, 2 shells, and we're not going to be able to get out that 3rd shell. You can see I tried to hit him in the hatch, but even then, that's still 600 damage. I mean, we're a tier 9 heavy, getting 600 damage out in a fairly moderate amount of time. So 5 more seconds left. We're going to have our shells ready. We do have, like, the 57 off to the side, who could be a big threat, but there's 1 shell into the 57, 2 shells into the 57, and let's go for that 3rd shell. There you go. 900 hit points off of his tank, and with that, we're up to 1,500 dealt. 10 more seconds. We got another 3 shells. I mean, you can start to see why the O is just such an amazing tank. So, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a badonk. Oh, well, I was going to say badonk, but it didn't even matter. Their whole team's dead at this point. Our team has absolutely steamrolled them. I mean, their team had a medium disadvantage. They had a Sheridan and then 2 tier 9 mediums. We had 2 Sheridans and an Object 140, which is definitely a flat medium advantage on our side. But, I mean, there's not much you can do about Wargaming's bad matchmaker. There's 1 shell into the 57, 2 shells into the 57, and a 3. There you go. That's 900 off of his vehicle, and now we're up to 2,400 damage dealt. The only tank that I still want to kind of go for is the 60 TP. Not really sure if I'm going to be able to. I mean, the VK is all the way off to the other side of the map, so yeah, I'm just going to drive towards this 60. Oh, Sheridan drove into the wall moment, but here we go. Let's put on my shell reload boost again, and 1, 2, and 3. There you go, and because of our shell reload boost, we were able to out-reload that Object 140 and break the 3,000 damage mark. The M-V-Yoh is an insane tank. I mean, it's just amazing. There's nothing bad about it. It can get the job done very easily. And because of that, I do believe that this is one of the best tier 9s in the game. The tier 8's great because it can also run shell reload boost, and even the tier 10 is amazing. The whole line is great. I would definitely suggest out of all the tier 10s that this is one of the lines you try to grind, because it truly is just an amazing one. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.